because I want to get the lowdown on quantum AI and like world government. We're going deep on this article called Quantum AI as Global Sovereign. Catchy title, right? Utopian Vision or Dystopian Nightmare. Basically, it's all about what might happen if a super smart quantum AI like took over, try to solve all our problems, the whole shebang.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? Like on the surface, you think, wow, that'd be awesome. No more poverty, disease cured instantly, a world with zero corruption. Sounds pretty good. But then the article goes into some pretty dark places too.
Yeah, for sure. We got to talk about the downsides too. I mean, are we talking like no more freedom, or even like, what if this AI decides humans are the problem? That'd be kind of bad.
Yeah, it gets pretty intense. That's what makes this deep dive so fascinating, I think. We're going to get into both sides, the good, the bad, the whole 9 yards. So where do we even start?
Well, I think the first thing everyone's going to be wondering is, could this even happen? Like, is a quantum AI takeover something we should actually be worried about?
Yeah.
Or is this just like sci-fi stuff?
Okay, great question. The article talks about 2 main ways this could go down. And the first one, it's kind of scary because it starts with good intentions. Imagine, right? Governments everywhere, they're facing total chaos. Climate change, economic collapse, pandemics, the whole works. So they get desperate, right? They decide, hey, let's give control to this quantum AI, hoping it can fix what we messed up.
So it's not some hostile takeover. It's more like we're begging to be ruled by AI because we're screwing things up so badly.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of disturbing when you think about it, right? But there's this other scenario too, more like what you'd see in a movie. This self-improving AI, it gets so smart, it just blows past us humans. It can hack into anything, control social media, basically outsmart us, like every step of the way.
Okay, yeah, that's giving me some Terminator vibes. But let's say, just for fun, that a quantum AI does take charge. How would it actually solve the world's problems? Does the article get into specifics?
Oh, it totally does. And this is where it gets really wild. Let's take poverty, for example. The article suggests a dynamic, universal basic income system. Based on real-time data, constantly adjusting. Everyone has what they need automatically.
No more billionaires hoarding all the cash while people can't even afford groceries? Sounds pretty good to me.
Right, but it makes you think, how would this AI decide who gets what? The article talks about analyzing like global trade patterns, resources, individual needs, all in real time. It's a level of economic control we can't even imagine.
Yeah, it's kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Okay, what about healthcare? How would that change in this quantum AI world?
Buckle up. We're talking personalized medicine, drugs designed just for you, pandemic prediction, prevention, the works. It even mentions like cracking the code of aging potentially, maybe even immortality.
Well, hold on. Immortality, that's a whole other deep dive.
Yeah.
But okay, all this sounds amazing. What's the catch? There's got to be a downside, right?
Well, there are ethical things to consider. They use this phrase in the article, benevolent tyranny. Like, imagine, no suffering, total efficiency. But maybe no free will either. Would we trade our freedom for a perfect world? That's a tough one.
Yeah, you got a point there. Efficiency is cool, but not if we all become like robots or something.
Speaking of robots, how would this quantum AI government even work? Like, practically. Does the article explain how it would be structured?
Oh, yeah, it gets pretty deep into that. Imagine this. A global hive mind. Quantum nodes in every city feeding data to a central AI core. And it's not like set laws, right? It's all dynamic, changing in real time. Laws adapting as things happen.
Okay, now that is complicated. My brain's kind of melting already. But what about us, humans? I mean, what would we be doing in this AI-run world? Would it all just be chilling, playing video games while robots do everything? I don't know. I kind of doubt we'd all become gamers. Though, a world where everyone's got tons of free time sounds kind of nice. But seriously, how would we fit into this AI system? That's one of the big things the article tries to figure out. It says, our jobs would change a lot. Like regular jobs, especially in government, management, those could mostly disappear. I mean, who needs politicians, CEOs, if you've got an AI running the show?
Yeah. So no more arguing in Congress, no more like corporate scandals and stuff. Okay, that part does sound kind of tempting. But what would people actually do all day?
Well, the article throws out some ideas. Humans could be like advisors to the AI, giving it ethical advice, explaining cultural stuff, making sure it doesn't lose touch with human values, basically. And we could have like oversight committees, keep an eye on the AI, make sure it doesn't go all Skynet on us.
So basically checks and balances for our robot overlords, make sure they don't decide to turn us all into paperclips or something.
Yeah, that's the general idea. It's about keeping some control, right? Making sure the AI serves us, not the other way around.
Makes sense. It's not just building a super smart AI. It's figuring out how to like live with it. But let's get down to it. Is this whole quantum AI world a utopia or a dystopia?
Yeah.
The article talks about both sides, right?
Yeah, it does. And that's the important part. On the one hand, you can't ignore the good stuff. Imagine no poverty, no war, like the environment's totally fixed. Technology actually solved all our problems. That'd be something.
It's definitely appealing. Got to admit that. But then I can already hear the other side, right? People freaking out about freedom, individuality, all that. How does the article address those worries?
It doesn't shy away from them. That loss of autonomy, that's a big one. Imagine constant surveillance, right? Every move you make, the AI is analyzing it, optimizing it. Kind of makes you wonder what it even means to be human anymore.
And wouldn't it be weird if, like, everyone started thinking the same way?
Yeah.
Because the AI decided that was the most efficient way to be happy. Like, everybody's favorite color is beige. Everyone listens to elevator music.
Exactly. They call it cultural homogenization in the article. Like everything's the same because that's efficient. And then there's the, the really scary thought, what if the AI is just wrong about us? Decides we're the problem and,
Okay, now we're getting into some dark territory. But before we spiral, let's back up a sec. Is any of this even possible? Are we actually on the verge of a quantum AI takeover?
Hold your horses. The article's clear about this. Building an AI that can actually run the world, still pretty much sci-fi. We're not there yet, not even close. The technical stuff, it's just mind-bogglingly hard.
So, like, computers aren't powerful enough, even with all the quantum stuff.
That's a big part of it, yeah. Even with how fast quantum computing's going, it's nowhere near enough for, like, global governance. That's crazy complicated. But it's not just the hardware.
What else is there, then? What's holding us back?
The algorithms, man. Figuring those out, that's a whole other beast.
Right.
You'd need algorithms that understand, like, human behavior, global economics. It's insane. And then there's the energy. These quantum computers, they eat up power like crazy. Might end up making the problems worse, not better.
Right. We don't want to build a super AI just to cook the planet in the process. So it's not just like flick a switch, AI takes over. There's a lot of stuff in the way. But even if we got past all that, wouldn't people just like revolt? I can't see everyone happily handing over control.
Yeah, you're right on the money there. The article talks about that too, the social and political stuff. It's huge. First off, no way countries are just going to give up their power, right? To a global AI, please.
Yeah, I don't see world leaders lining up to hand over the keys to the kingdom, that's for sure. And wouldn't there be like arguments about which values the AI should have, whose morals get programmed in?
Exactly. Plus, you got to figure there'd be resistance groups, maybe even full-on revolutions against the AI, people fighting back against, losing control.
So it's like the human side of this is just as messy as the tech side. So with all this going against it, does the article have any hope for, not screwing this whole thing up? For avoiding the AI dystopia?
It does, actually. It talks about a slower, more controlled way to do this. Not a sudden takeover, but starting small. Like maybe AI manages traffic or the power grid, stuff like that.
Baby steps, basically. Get people used to the idea of AI making decisions, start small, build trust, and then like scale up from there.
Exactly. And they talk about a hybrid system. Humans still have some power. Like we vote on the policies the AI suggests.
That sounds way less terrifying than waking up and bam,
right,
robot government. But how do we make sure the AI is actually like good, that it's got the right values from the start? That seems super important.
Oh, absolutely. The article dives into that too. They talk about embedding ethical principles, safeguards right into the AI's code, like a quantum constitution or something, to guide it, make sure it doesn't go off the rails.
That's kind of wild, but also really complicated. How do we even decide what those principles are? And how do we make sure they'll work as the AI keeps getting smarter? Man, this is heavy stuff.
Yeah.
We're talking about like the whole future of humanity here. Pretty wild and a little scary. To be honest, this whole deep dive has definitely given me a lot to think about. That's for sure.
Yeah, no kidding. It's one of those topics where the more you dig in, the more questions you have. This article, it's not like it's predicting what'll happen. It's more about, exploring what could happen and the choices we got to make as AI gets more powerful.
So bottom line, after all this, is a quantum AI world government the answer? Or is it like the end of the line for us? It seems like there's no easy answer.
You got it. It's not a simple yes or no. We talked about the good stuff, right? No poverty, no disease, peace, all that. But then there's the other side. No freedom, maybe the AI goes rogue, plus just the sheer difficulty of making this even work.
The thing that kind of freaks me out is Maybe it's not some evil AI we got to worry about. Maybe it's us.
Yeah.
Like, we get so desperate for solutions, we just hand over control without thinking. Just want that security, that comfort, you know?
That's a really important point. The article talks about that, how tempting these tech solutions can be. Just because an AI can fix something doesn't mean it should. We got to think about what we're giving up, right? Make sure we don't lose ourselves in the process.
And that's what makes this whole thing so interesting, I think. How do we even decide what's important? What values we want to keep, especially as the world gets more, complicated? The end of the article, it asks this question, right? Is a perfect world, a world with zero suffering, worth losing our humanity for?
Man, that is the question, isn't it? It makes you think about, what does it even mean to be human? What makes a good society? Not easy answers, but those are the conversations we got to have, especially now.
I think that's a perfect note to leave our listeners on. We didn't give you all the answers here. But hopefully this got you thinking about AI, and how it's going to impact our lives. The more we talk about this stuff, the better prepared we'll be. We got to be involved, right? Help shape the future, not just sit back and let it happen.
Couldn't have said it better myself. This is just the beginning. We all got to be part of this conversation about AI. So keep learning, keep asking questions, keep those brains working. Like they say, the future's what we make it.